What's up? What's up? What's up, my people? It's your boy Nick, HOUTX Trader, also on the gram. It's a big tuna. Hey, in my comments, I'll put a link to my dot card, and that gives you all the social media, links to my broker, links to the um, funded company I use, and a couple of discords in there that I'm also in. I think I've also got the Board Ape Discord in there. I need to double check that. But anyways, guys, so check the comments for that. This is going to be for training only. This is not financial advice. If you need financial advice, please go see a professional financial advisor. So what we're going to do today, guys, is just look over the big three: Nas, US Dirty 30, and of course by Goldie. And then we did enter a EJ trade. And yeah, if you guys have any particular um pairs you want us to start reviewing, let me know, because I don't really mess with pairs too much these days. I pretty much just go for the big boys. But if y'all have a pair that y'all like, let me know. And don't just list all the damn pairs, all right? Just like be specific, like this is the one I want, okay? Don't give me fucking 19 pairs. All right, anyways, check this out. Dirty 30. So today we did see that there was like a potential of an entry here because we did have the RSI oversold and it was in our liquidity. But I was hesitant to take that sell because it didn't match up with all of my criteria. That being that this was just such a bullish trend. It's so strong that I wasn't really willing to take the risk until I had a break of structure, right? And so if you ask me, these are the lows right here. This was the next low, and it still hasn't broke structure. It's bounced here, bounced twice there, and bounced again. It still hasn't broke. So I'm not really looking to take I was not looking to take that sell until it broke. And it didn't really break, but we did have a wick below, right? And it closed right up inside of it. So what I'm thinking is now either two things. Either we get this push up and we fib this move as our second leg, okay? And then we come in here and we take a sell here, which I'm completely willing to do because we're going to have a smaller stop loss, right? We're not having a gigantic stop loss. I'm willing to risk those pips. And if you really wanted, to be safer, you could even go with the stop loss of there, which again is not a lot of pips. We want to target this area here for our buys. So if we take that trade, we're in a 3-to-1. It's not the worst. If this does go into our zone and start to reject, you can immediately lower down this stop loss to the real stop loss. Now, I say you could leave it up top here because you could also just play this fib, which is almost the same fib. Again, the stop loss is almost the same. And then what you'd be doing then, let me delete this fib, is you would be targeting this liquidity. And I kind of like that better now that I think about it. I'd like to see that liquidity get taken out. But there is two chances. There is a chance to short off of this fib zone, and there is a chance to maybe wait for that liquidity to get taken and then to short and let this be the swing that needs to hold as our resistance. Either way you take your trade, you want to make sure that you have your stop loss above this swing to start off with. So if it's there, we're entering, and our stop loss would be in right about that area. Okay, guys. So let's just delete and clean this up. So we're looking for either one of those two areas to go. And then that will hopefully will give us, if it holds and it doesn't, let's delete this. This could be the first leg, second leg, right into this area here, and then third leg down, and then we come back up for all-time highs. Or, we'll see what goes on. But at least we'll come up, and at that point, take out whatever liquidity we're about to put here and take out this double top, and then perhaps maybe we'll come back in and reject. But I don't know. And then we can play that double top. We're not going to look that far ahead. We're just going to look for what's happening right now. And so the best situation is plan A, it melts and it comes down and we take the buy. Plan B is it comes off of this. We find the entry either at this 88.6 area right here for clear liquidity, or just a little bit below it on that other fib, and then we come up and then we do this. So plan A, plan B. NASDAQ. NASDAQ, I do believe, I'll top of my head, is setting us up for a buy or sell, kind of the same situation. It's the same chart we had marked up today because we didn't have much liquidity. All right, so I see this wick down here as needing to be taken out as liquidity. You also have this area right there. You have this area there, right? So we have that. I'm just going to leave it horizontal. It's sitting right at the 61.8. So I would love to see this get hit, come down into our fib zone, and then come back up. And then at that time, we would have left this two tips here, these two liquidities, and that would be TP1. But honestly, our TP would be up here. Okay. I'd like to see that. That's plan A. I drew the fib off of this because this is the last little consolidation order block, and then it took off and left. And so I'm using that to find my fib zone, and it's below this liquidity area. So what I want to see is the market, like I just said, I want to see this market come hit these, break it, and then look for an oversold on the RSI and maybe touch this last candle, take out these wicks, something like that. Come in this area, and if this is the breaker block candle, if that's the breaker candle, touch that candle or get really close to it before we buy up. Okay, that's plan A. Plan B within, it doesn't do that, and it buys up from here. It takes out this liquidity, at which case we can look to sell right up in this area. So again, we're not having a huge stop loss because what we're really playing then is this fib from there to there. Our stop loss is right here. It's not very big. It should hold that, and then we can sell all the way down to our buy area. So those are both good trades. We would be playing the double top in this situation. I mean, maybe we could give it just a few extra pips on stop loss just to make sure, but basically at that time we're playing the double top. All right. And our fib zone is there. Again, it all depends on the RSI and what price action looks like when we get there. So it's either down and up, or it comes up from here and then we sell off. So plan A, plan B, as I just described. So there to there. Either way. Goldie. Okay, so let's come back out to the 2 hour on Goldie. So it's, Goldie's messing around. This is what gold does. Look, it sets a low, takes out all this liquidity, and then sets a high, and then does nothing. Okay, but this is okay because now we're flowing with the market, and we see that that was liquidity right there, and it got taken out. And what did it do? It took out the top liquidity right above it. All right, right there, it took it out. Okay, so now what's it doing? Well, it's doing an Elliott wave. So 1, 2. Let's catch that third and let's buy off. Right. So that's my plan for now. We can sweeten that up with this fib. Okay, that's right into our zone. We can delete that. We know now that the fib is in our zone. Okay, that's why it says that there. And if you look at these sell fibs, that take profit is right there, right above our zone for that first leg, and the second leg take profit is right there too. So I mean, look at how the 61.8 and the 23.6 extensions line up just above where our 78.6 is. So maybe our entry should be just above it. That's okay. I'm willing to enter a few pips above. Then again, our main fib, our buy fib is from there, and we want to put our stop loss down here. So we're entering it at the 78.6 or just above the 78.6. And then our goal should be up here, 2048, 2050 area. That gives us a good 3-to-1 R to R. Yeah. All right. That's at the bottom of the 78.6. And when it gets up here to the 2048, 2050 area, we'll be looking to sell. Again, it's going to see what the RSI looks like and what the patterns look like, because we do have a huge fat liquidity zone sitting right above that. So this might just go, right? If we get a pull back down to here, this is the situation where we need to leave, where we're going to take, we're going to take our profit there, but we need to leave a good runner because this might come up and catch another 100 pips for us or so. So we'll be looking for that. All right. If that's a sell and then the buy. And if it just goes up from here, which I don't think it's going to do, but if it does go up from here, we'll just look to sell right here at this 2048, 2050 area. And then that's our play on our bigger fib. And then we can see what the RSI looks like on the 1 hour time frame there. So the plan A is continue with this third leg, and then we buy. All right. And then if that does not work and it buys up from here, then we'll look for it to clear out this liquidity and look for it to get into sells around the 2050 area, which is a good psych level. Then come down, take out this liquidity and hold this as the support, and then back up. Then we buy again. So we're just targeting liquidity. Right now, there's liquidity right here, and there's a fib zone right there. So let's take that out, find that as structure and push up, and then that will take out this whole little block. It's actually a double top area that we have here. That's going to get taken out. But on the bigger time frame, these tops here are going to get taken out. So we know that it's going to come up there. We're hoping we get one more dip so we can get back in the party and join. And we were in longs down here, but as it got up here to the 2030 area, I got out and it just went sideways. So hopefully I could get a dip back down 2018-ish, 2019, 2020 area, and then catch that long back up. Okay. And that's that. And I think like I said, we took an EJ and we're in profit on EJ. All right. Which is good because, I mean, honestly, we took that EJ trade and then on like the 1 hour, it immediately engulfed, right? It engulfed. Let's move this to where it's actually at. We got in first candle engulfing. I was like, hell yeah, sideways, and now it's moving back off. So we're in profit on EJ, which is all good. We'll leave it on the 4 hour. Actually, this really is a day trade for us, and we're hoping that this holds this double top because, if, like I said this morning, this was the structural area that it broke, right? So that was the low. It set a new lower low, and we're hoping that this now is a lower high. We are overbought on the RSI as we were here, pushed off. We're hoping that the rest of the party, the rest of the banks are doing that. And we're playing a double top basically, which is also you guys' M. Okay. We're playing the M. So it did break some structure right there. And so we're hoping that's it. And we're looking for this trend line. If we can get a push past and closing this trend line, then there's a possibility of re-entering this trade because then we're looking for a push. We're looking for a good sell. We would, we look at our TPs and our fibs. And so really, this is the last main bottom, and that's the top. Okay. This 61.8 extension is of the first one. So what we really need to do is wait for the second one. All right. But there is a possibility for this to come down and either get into this order block area or get into this order block area right in here. Or hell, it might even split it right in half. Because I mean, there's a support turn resistance right there in the middle. So perhaps the 61.8 extension. Jesus, look how that matches up. I always say this. I'm always on here drawing these charts like, oh, look, price should go here because, well, let's just, let's delete this. There's an order block. Okay. There's a consolidation and then a disbursement right there. It comes back down, taps the top of the order block, and then leaves. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Elliott all the way. And if you look, not my YouTube, if you look, there's the Elliott. Resistance, support, it consolidates, it pops out, break of structure, comes back down, retest it, and then goes. So that's that. Consolidation, right? Break of structure right here to the top. Comes back down, touches the top of the other candles, support resistance. That would be resistance turning into support. This is why you see people play those areas and then go. The only time, in my opinion, that the support resistance game works is when you have a clear Elliott, like a clear consolidation, and it breaks out, and then you catch the retest of that. Now, I personally don't trade that style because what if this was to retrace lower and give us like a 78% retracement, right? So if you're entering up here, then now your stop loss is ridiculous. You're going to try to buy here, and now your stop loss is way down here. I don't think so. Not for me. Where's your TP? You have no idea where your TP is. You don't know how far it's going to run. So that's not the way I trade. The way I trade is then it would be, let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we had that. We had this push off. Okay. Then I would be entering in the 78, 88.6 area. I would be entering in here in our zone. the much smaller stop loss, and now I have a TP, which is 61.8, and look what happened, it hit. The only problem was is it didn't give us a full retracement. No big deal. I wasn't even watching EJ back then. I wasn't even trading it, so it's not a big deal. I was just giving you guys an example of how my strategy is different from the purely support resistance type strategy. I don't do that, but this is now forming a support and it broke. So hopefully we get a trend line break and then we're off to the market. And if that happens, I'll be doubling down and entering more. There's a great guy. If you look on his, I think Trading Nut has a really good podcast with him. His name is Tom Hugard. He also has a book called The Best Loser Wins, and he speaks of this. He speaks that says most traders, if they're in a bad position and they're in drawdown, they'll re-enter. All right. And then they'll end up taking a double loss. And if they're in a winning trade, they will close out their profits maybe prematurely. And he is of the mindset that he does the exact opposite. If most people, 90% of people are failing at trading, then don't do it 90% of the people do. When you're in drawdown, shave off, start closing partials so that if you do go all the way to stop loss, you're not losing your full bag, right? You're shaving out. You can always get back in if that's the case, but you start to reduce your losses. And if you're in a winning position, add to it. If it's going your direction, add it, take another position. Now, I'm not suggesting you start implementing this into your strategy, back test it, do whatever. It's just an interesting thing that he states, and it's kind of like I'm all about that too. If you guys see the way I draw the fibs, sometimes the fibs will give you multiple entries, especially if you're playing the legs, right? So here's one entry there. You can say that you can enter the 618 here, and you can start drawing these fibs up and look for other ones. But right there is a pretty bad example. But you guys have seen how I can start stacking fibs 1, 2, 3 on top of each other and start taking multiple trades. So perhaps we'll just look at this for an example. Right down 61.8. There's an entry. Okay. Never broke that fib. There's your second fib. Or actually, technically, your other fib would be right there. But anyways, what I'm trying to get at is you could have an entry right inside there that went all the way down to your TP. All right. And then it pulls back up. So now your fib from there to that bottom, you could draw the second fib from there to there. No, it'd be to there. Right? It'd be from there to that down to that part. Let's zoom in a little bit. So what I'm trying to say is you had one fib. Okay, this is the strategy. There's a scalping strategy video that I've made on this. Down, there's your entry right there. Okay. So there's one trade. It pulled back up. You could have double bottomed that, or you could have gotten this one that never hit your stop loss up here. And so your second trade, this is one of those ones where you double down more than once in your winning position. Down, retrace to 50%. You could have entered there. All right. And this is your high. There's your next low. As you can see, I already have the fib drawn. There's your high. There's your next low right there. There's another entry right here. All right. Your stop loss would have been there. And your TP would have been 236 or 618. And you would hit TP right there. Okay. And then so now this is your now swing marker. This is now your low. Okay. So then you would have gotten into another trade right there. Your stop loss again would have been right there. And your 61.8 is right there. Again, you hit TP again, right there. And so now this is now your swing marker. That's your low, no retracement. You swing it over to this swing marker. There you go. Okay. There's another entry. Sell right here. All right. Your stop loss would have been right there. 61.8 TP. Hit it again. So right there, we've got one. I didn't show this one, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different trades. And all at the same time, even on this first one, where you'd have caught this 61.8 entry here, you would have been obviously broken even by now. But look at how many pips your runner would have had. At the same time, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades at full TP, and your runner started here, and now your runner's down to there for 300 pips. And all the same time you're banking. So don't be afraid to jump back into multiple trades. What I would suggest in that situation It's also you just look and see where structure is. We have a trend line here that's it's hitting the trend line. All for all those trades, you got to know when to get out of them. And so I would say you get out when the fib breaks. Okay. So if this was the last fib, let me just delete some of this. If this is the last fib here, technically here, okay, you could have got an entry here at the 88.6. You could have caught one of those entries, but look, it broke. Okay. So when that doesn't hit full TP and breaks right there, you probably would have maybe broke even or just held it. And you right now we're back into buys. Okay. So you're like, okay, well, shit, the selling party's over. Now let's start buying fibs. All right. Fib 1 to 2. Okay. There's your entry right there. 61.8. See 61.8 TP. There it is. Okay. So bingo. There's another TP. So we've had one winning trade and six winners. Okay. Top, no retracement, no retracement, no retracement. We keep pulling. So we don't have a retracement yet on this. So now we are looking. I mean, you're technically you'd have gotten this, and your runner is still way up here now, right? You have no reason to get out of that runner. But now let's look at where we're at. Delete all this crap. Okay, now look where we're at. So now we know that really what we want to do is buyers are going to be sitting in this area. Well, guess what? There's where the trend line is. And then potential buyers will be sitting in this area, right? So if we zoom back out, let's go to a higher time frame because I see these fibs are overlapping. Okay. So on the big fib from here to there, we are now in the turnaround spot, the 88.6. Okay, so we can start to look for a sell-off, but now we also have confirmation that this is wanting to sell because we haven't had a pure retracement. After this low, it's off to the moon. It hasn't had a retracement down to these areas. So we can at least look for retracement down to here. I see this as a liquidity area. This is liquidity. So maybe when on this buy that we just got into, I'm not saying we take TP1 there, but I mean, we could start to look at least breaking even, maybe shaving some off, or maybe hold it to there. But if this trend line breaks, then we could really see, a sell maybe for quite some time. All right. Because we do need to come down and hit this TP on this side. So I just showed you guys how once you're in a position, you could add to your position. This is the sell area where he needs to sell. So it's starting to turn around, sell off now. So that's EJ. If we can get multiple waves like we're doing right here, if we can get these waves on the sell side, we're gonna be entering multiple trades. And we're gonna be leaving these runners go. We're gonna be hitting our TPs and chugging and lugging. All right. We're on a higher time frame. That's why we can just let these things run. But for now, let's see where this first leg gives us. And we're in the trade now. We'll just clean up some of these fibs. All right. We're in that trade and we're in profit. So our stop loss is there. Let's see if we can't catch a solid break and then we'll start re-entering. There's EJ. I think we also were looking at UCAD, but I don't think UCAD was, yeah, UCAD screwing around, nothing else. And just for the shit of it, look for GJ. Everyone seems to love some GJs and it's just going to the moon. Let's look at the daily. I really just need to start swing trading these. And what I need to do, I know there's things I need to do. I need to start swing trading these, and then perhaps I'd also need to look at what the swaps are. Like if we're gonna swing trade these and hold these for a long time, we need to realize what the positive and negative swaps are. And I don't want to get caught up into gigantic swing trades and then paying swaps all the while, and perhaps we getting losing a good amount of profit. So on the daily, we see the GJs pumping up. And it's been pumping up since February of 20. Fucking long time. But where do you think we might turn around, right? That's a clean double bottom right there, especially on a daily. It's a clean double bottom. I mean, if you ask me, GD's in the turnaround spot. I mean, it did break our fib zone. But I mean, look, and we have this gigantic fair value gap in this area too. right? We have this area that hasn't been touched, just kind of shot off. And technically, I mean, you could kind of maybe say the value is in this area, but anyways, we need more confluences for GJ. So probably come down to like the 4 hour, and we'll need to see a break of structure, and then we could play the pullback. So first and foremost, we need to see this getting broken. All right. And then if we can get some sort of break of structure, which A would be the trend line, but really, I really like to see this low get broken and then pull back and then we short it. So we'll be patient. This is what the patience game is because yeah, the trend line could be called, it could be structure, but really that's the low. Really, that's the swing marker low. We want to see that get broken, and then we can play the pullback, and then we can start entering multiple positions. I'm not really looking at that too carefully because I'm concentrating on the gold, Nasdaq, and dirty 30. Real quick, let's just look at Bitcoin. I sold some Bitcoin today. Sold a few G's Bitcoin. I need to move some money around. So I liquidated a little bit of Bitcoin. Um, right. See where we're at. Okay, we're getting to the area where possibly it's going to start turning around, and I didn't want to wait. I needed the monies for some other shit, so I sold off. I also did sell a good portion. Sold 2 G's worth of Ethereum today as well, and as you can see, I have it marked up there. If we go to the daily, again, it just shot off, right? So people are going to be looking to take some sort of profit like I did. We're also in this turnaround zone for the 88, 78.6, and we're also oversold on RSI on the daily. So I was like, you know what? Now's a good time to sell a couple K here. And then let's see if we can't figure something out to maybe get back in some more buys. You know, we'll let this come down some and then play it back off. Right. Let's look at Solana. Solana's actually, dude, I love that on Solana. I was thinking it was going to come down a little bit deeper, like this 90, $86 range, and it doesn't look like it's going to do it, but I still have faith that it's going to. I think it's just giving us a little up, and then I see these bottoms, so I want it, I don't want it to come down there, but I have money in NFTs in this ecosystem, so let's see what it does, but I haven't sold off any Solana yet. My Cardano is I like if you come out to the daily, this is okay. So see how this flattened out? It went straight sideways for a while. Look at what Solana did, right? Flattened out and then popped back up, right? At $129. So we went from $20, 29, 19 at one point, 13 up to 120. And that didn't take very long to do. So I see this Cardano and I'm like, yo, I was buying down here at 30 cents. It popped off. Maybe this is the parabolic move that Solana did. And we also look at DOT. I was looking at my DOT today and I was like, okay, I've been buying DOT down here and I'm in profit in DOT now because like I was buying it and then dollar cost averaging and got into some drawdown. But as of right now, I'm in profit at $8. So if we could just see half of what this is, I mean, good Lord, we're gonna be rolling in some $30. I mean, that's good, right? I'll gladly take that. So hopefully here pretty soon the Cardano will start to pop, right? It did pop off, but if we came back and look, bingo, it gave us a retracement down, right? Actually, if you look right here, these tops popped off. So let's hope Cardano starts to go because on the big time frame, I wouldn't mind liquidating some Cardano as well. And if it just gets to half of what it was, I mean, just half of what it was would be $1.60. That's 60 cents now. I'd gladly take that cash because that would be a good payday. So yeah, let's see if Cardano and DOT will do what Solana did. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed the meeting. Please like, please share, please comment, help me out with the algorithms. And if you guys have any questions about any particular pairs, I'm not going to go crazy and do every single pair. Just drop like a, hey, I like GU or hey, I like this. Give me one or two, and that's it. We're not going to go crazy on them because these are the three big boys that I'm really targeting and looking at. The Goldie, the Dirty 30, and the Nasty Naz. And that's it. All right, guys. I'll be up tomorrow morning, live trading every morning around right before market opens. So tomorrow we do have news at 7:30 Central Time, 8:30 East Coast. So I'll be on getting ready for the market to open. So you guys have a good night. Thank you very much for stopping by. I appreciate you guys. Bye bye.